Sudoku for Fun and Profit by Amy Jones. This is a presentation I did for the George Fox University Toastmasters on December 5th, 2006 on my special 2 techniques that I use in solving beginner and intermediate Sudoku puzzles. Now I say it's for fun and profit. Well, the fun part, that's easy to explain. That just means that I have a great time doing Sudoku puzzles, and you can too. The profit part, well, this has nothing to do with money. It simply means that you're going to benefit your brain by exploring and solving and thinking about Sudoku puzzles. Studies have shown that by doing brain teasers, crossword puzzles, and puzzles like Sudoku, you can keep your brain and cognitive juices flowing for many years, well into your later life. Before I share my 2 special tips and tricks, we need to understand the Sudoku board and how the game works. First, we'll be referring to one of the 81 squares on the board as a square. We'll be looking at columns and also rows. Each 9-block grid here, separated by the dark black lines, we will call a box. Now the rule of Sudoku says that you'll put one of each of the 9 digits 1 through 9 in each square in the boxes. You'll also put one of each digit in the columns and one of each digit in every row. For example, I have 9 ones sitting here. If I put 1 in this square, I can't put another one in any other square in this column or in this row. I can also not put this one in any of these squares within this box. Anywhere else is fine, just not inside this box, this column, or this row. So let's solve our first puzzle. My first technique involves looking at columns of boxes, in other words, this 1/3 of the grid, or rows of boxes, such as this 1/3 of the grid. And when I look at those, I simply try to identify 2 of the same digit in those columns of boxes or rows of boxes. So the first one I want to identify is this 4 and this 4. I'm using some what we call Easiteach software to illustrate how I solve these problems. So with this 4 right here, I can't put another 4 in this column or in this box. And I can't put another 4 in this column or in this box. I know that I need a 4 in this box, but because these 2 columns have been eliminated, I need to choose this column. If I looked up here, I would notice that there's already a 4 in this row. That leaves 1 spot for my 4. Oops, there we go. The second place I'm going to look at is this set of boxes. I notice there's a 7 here and a 7 here. That means I can't put another 7 in this row, and I can't put another 7 in this row. I'll need to put a 7 in this spot or this spot, and you probably already noticed that there's a 7 above that. So we'll put the 7 here and fill it with orange. The next one we'll look at will have to do with this row of boxes. And this time we'll notice that there are 2 5s. Again, I can't put a 5 in this row or this row, but I can put one right here. And finally, let's look at the last two very, very quickly. I can put a 9 in this spot because a 9 has already been selected for these two rows and in this column. So we'll put a 9 here. And the last one we'll do is look at these three and focus on the 2's. So we know the 2 has to go here. So that's my first technique, and I can fill in quite a few squares that way. In fact, there's more on the board that you can see probably right now. So my second technique involves looking at boxes or columns or rows that have 5 or more digits in them. In this column, we have 5 digits. So what I want to do is see, first of all, what are the other digits that we need to fill in, and are there any that we can fill in right away? For instance, the number 1 can't go here or here because there's already a 1 in this square. 1 could go here or here, and it's hard to tell from these rows which one would be best. So we'll hold off on the 1, but we know there's going to be a 1 in this one. We can set it aside. There's already a 2 in this column, there's already a 3 in this column, but we do need a 4. We can put a 4 here or here, but not here because there's 1 in this row. We could put 1 here. So we didn't get any help with the 4's either, but we'll set it aside because we know it's going to fit in here sometime. The next one we'll look at, of course, is 5, and it's there. The 6. The 6 cannot go here or here because it's already there. Can the 6 go here? Yes. Or here? Yep. So we aren't sure where the 6 is going to go. The last number, because 7 and 8 are already taken, is the 9. So let's see if we can figure out where the 9 goes. The 9 can't go in these two bottom spaces because there's already a 9 in this box. 9 could go here or here, but our row shows us that there's already 1 in that row, which means the only place for the 9 to go is here. And if you remember, 1 could not go here or here, and there's only 1 spot left for the 1. Now how about that 4 and that 6? Well, the 4 can't go here, but it can go there. Couldn't go there. Oops, there we go. Couldn't go here because of the 4 there, and that leaves this for the 6. Now this square right here, this box right here, has all but 2 filled in. So chances are pretty good that we can figure out what goes there. I just start counting through. There's the 1, the 2, the 3 can go here or here. So let's pull a 3 aside. 4, 5 could go here or here. There's already 1 in this column, which means the 5 goes right there, and the 3 goes there. So to sum up, my 2 techniques, the one where you look at columns or rows of boxes and pick out 2 that are alike in order to fill in the 3rd, or find columns or rows or boxes that have 5 or more digits in them, is a good way to solve beginner and intermediate Sudoku puzzles. I hope you've learned a little bit from my presentation and feel encouraged to go try your own puzzle now.